Morning, all. All right, so news and preview video to start off your Saturday. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific start tonight between the Vegas Golden Knights, the Florida Panthers. This is the last Saturday night game of the 2022-2023 season. That's it. If the series goes to 7, Game 7 will be on Friday in Vegas. So the Vegas Golden Knights lead 2-1. They're looking to build a 3-1 series lead heading home. Florida wants to tie it. Now, teams have tied it previous. The 2017 Nashville Predators, the 2011 Bruins, the 2010 Flyers, the three most recent examples of that. Of the three, Boston, the only one that then followed through and won the Stanley Cup. So we'll see how things go tonight. On the Vegas side, Adin Hill wasn't tested a lot through the first 57 minutes of the game. And then he allowed a couple of goals there. He is sitting at a .934 save percentage currently. He may need a big game tonight. I don't know. It feels like, again, shots don't matter, right? Nick Hague, I wanted to talk about as well. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points. He's a +7 in these playoffs. But he and Whitecloud have been absolute beasts defensively. They have been frustrating to opponents throughout the playoffs. And I thought Hague deserved a little bit of a mention in this morning's preview. On the other side, you got Bobrovsky, .925 save percentage for him. He had a nice bounce back in Game 3 from a really rough Game 2. Barkov doesn't have a point yet in this Stanley Cup final, but 4 goals, 10 assists so far for him in the playoffs. And it feels like he's due, doesn't it? So we'll see what happens with Barkov tonight with Bobrovsky and the Florida Panthers. Can they tie the series? We shall find out soon enough. So with the draft coming up in just a couple of weeks, the Columbus Blue Jackets, Jeff Svoboda is reporting that Will Smith went out to dinner with Columbus Brass last night. And this is standard. This is standard now. You've got your combine, all the players are together, and yeah, teams want to get to know the top prospects. Now, Columbus drafts third. So there's one of two things that go on. If Will impresses them, maybe you draft him at third, maybe you trade down, right? So we'll see what Columbus does. But this is standard. You want to get to know all the top prospects and figure out which one most suits your organization. So all the best to Will on that. There is, of course, a lot of divided sentiment on which of the American players who are going to go in the top half of the first round should go in which order, and I think that's going to be an interesting storyline in this draft. So last night, the Everblades made it a sweep of the Idaho Steelheads. So the Steelheads get all the way to the final, but yeah, Florida was not allowing them to get much hope out of this. So they won 4-3. It is a sweep for the Florida Everblades. Back-to-back Kelly Cup titles. They are the 5th team to have back-to-back Kelly Cup titles. And that's not easy to do because, of course, in the ECHL, you're going to have a lot of turnover from one year to the next. And yeah, so all the best to the Everblades on getting it done. And we'll see if their NHL parent club can do the same thing tonight for the Stanley Cup. At the very least, win the game, right? And even the series and maybe go towards winning a Stanley Cup. We'll see how it all turns out. Now, of course, at the AHL level, tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, the Coachella Valley Firebirds are hosting the Hershey Bears. Coachella Valley leads that series 1-0. And that's off of Thursday's 5-0 win. So Coachella Valley made it look kind of easy in Game 1. We'll see how things go tonight in Game 2. So yeah, interesting series going on there. Of course, the Coachella Valley Firebirds being the AHL team of the Seattle Kraken. That's a good story. So getting back to the draft for a moment here, Connor Bedard. And I expect this summer to be a lot of Connor Bedard discussion. His work at the Combine is impressing people, and again, the comparisons to Connor McDavid are there. I feel bad for Bedard on one level because the expectation to be like arguably the best player in the league. I say arguably because while I believe that Connor McDavid is the best player in the league, when I make that statement, there's an argument. But yeah, Bedard, apparently, elite level talent and conditioning, and has been quite impressive at the Combine. There really is not a question of him going at first. I've seen some comments about, well, maybe if this guy really impresses, no, nobody else is going number 1 in this draft. It's going to be Bedard, and we're all going to act surprised when he puts on the Blackhawks jersey. All right, so that being said, I know there's going to be a lot of naysaying as well with Bedard that, well, he hasn't done anything yet, but we saw that with McDavid. if you're old enough, you remember the same thing was said with Sidney Crosby as well. Well, he hasn't played yet, so I don't know what all the hype is about. The UFA market does open in 20 to 21 days, so 3 weeks from today, and that's 2 days after the draft is completed. So it's a very compact 96 hours where a team could revamp their lineup. If you're going to make a trade at the draft, if you're looking to revamp your lineup in some manner, you may be able to do so very quickly for teams that are looking for players, looking for picks. If you need picks your own, you may be trading out players to get picks back. And then the UFA market opens on July 1st. And as I've said too, there aren't really any game changers in this year's free agent draft class, but there are free agent class. There's no draft class there. You knew that was going to happen because we talked about the draft and free agency. But yeah, the free agent class is considered to be a little bit middling. The draft class is considered fantastic. So this year's draft should be excellent. And we'll see whether or not the draft being a deep draft means there's more trades or fewer. I'm going to guess there's going to be more because there's some really good talents in this draft. So Calgary, the reason for the Flames jersey, Huska will be named as the coach of the team on Monday. So they'll have their new coach, and we'll see how things go. Huska, very familiar, of course, to Flames fans, been a part of the organization for some time, and we'll see how it goes for him now as the head coach for the Calgary Flames. And as I said when I reported on this yesterday, I do like when it's not recycled coaches, when you're giving a guy from within the organization a chance to move up. I think that's for the best. But we'll see how it turns out for Calgary. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.